just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tonight, it's the Sunday night opener for the new NFL season between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. It's the marquee game of opening weekend, and off we go on a Sunday night on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys! Michael Gallup, 35 yards. And the Cowboys are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, partner, not exactly the way they drew up the start of this one, but a chance to redeem themselves and hit the reset button here on their second possession.
And I do like that word that you just used, reset, right? In a lot of ways, it's just shaking off what happened before, starting fresh, almost like it's your first drive all over again. Go out and put your best foot forward.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Go, 66.
Now Brady. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Brady. Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Lewis. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Prescott. That's Gallup on the slant. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Here's Prescott. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. The kick by Marr is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Brady on the bootleg. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Brady going to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The end result, 21 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Down to about the 23. A lot of hype, of course, going into this one with the Cowboys and the Bucs. They met last year in the season opener. Remember, that was the night they raised the banner in Tampa. It was also Dak Prescott's comeback game, and the Bucs wound up winning 31-29 on a late Ryan Succop field goal. Really good game that was. But these two teams were also the two best offenses in the NFL last year. The Cowboys gaining 18 more yards over the course of the season than the number 2 Bucs. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Anthony Barr. And the Cowboys will take over here at their own 14-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Prescott. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Prescott to throw it. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
Fournette, a first down carry. Down to about the 22 here. 42 yards for him on the ground in his first quarter. He has been tremendous to start the new year. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Fournette. is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers have cut it back within a score. Extra point put through by Succop. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the preview. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. Inside the 20. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And the lead is now 14-10. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Elliott. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Zeke going to get it on the option. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Prescott now, option right, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Prescott. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 28. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
51 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Elliott, toss right. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Cowboys are able to move back in front. Extra point by Mara, up and good. And it's now 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. A little bit of flip the script. Quarter 1, they struggled. Quarter 2 here, they put things together. And I guess sometimes, Charles, you just come out and you have to get your feet underneath you in a ball game, right?
That's exactly right, because every now and then you don't come out of the gate as fast or as strong as you want to. Sometimes you have to ramp up into it or take a few hits along the way and figure it out. And that's what they've done so far. Slow start, but now they're starting to put it together.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brady, and for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. There he goes left side. He's at the 30. 10. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point put through by Succop, and that will make this a 4-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Prescott looks to throw on first. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Throw left side taken in by Washington. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Rolling to it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Looking to throw. Prescott. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Airing this one out for Evans. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Brady. Open man has got it. It's complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. The final shot before half for Brady. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 75 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Leonard Fournette, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Succop. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Cowboys 17. Ryan Succop to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 10th carry now for Elliott. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Elliott saw the fewest carries of his career in 2021, but that didn't stop him from still going across 1,000 yards for the 4th time and finishing top 10 in the league in both yards and touchdowns. Another productive season from one of the league's best backs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go to Elliott again. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Prescott now.
Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
First down, Prescott. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Bucs are going to take possession here at their own 33. Now, he exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
Room here to run. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Leonard Fournette with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bucs are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead is up to 18 now. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That's a nice play there.
Elliott on first down, going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Prescott now from the 50. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. Up the gut, Fournette. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Fournette once more on second down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
On play action, it's Brady. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. On second down, Elliott once more. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Now Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. A shotgun give to Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Brady. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the 1st down sack. Brady. And now here is another interception. And the Cowboys are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Following the interception, here's Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And out across midfield down to the 45. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll be brought down at the 27. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Prescott on 3rd and 2. And my goodness, another interception. Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Bucs are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
Boy, 194 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's away, and it's a high kick here, but not high enough to hit the scoreboard here in Dallas. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 40-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He finds his target. It's Schultz. One last shot now for Prescott. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Buccaneers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. The Partner, that'll do it. These week one primetime games, they always seem to have a little bit more electricity, a little more anticipation. A fun one tonight, and a lot of fun ones that we have on the road ahead.
And, partner, I love the word you just used there, electricity. Things were crackling out there, weren't they? And let's face it, both of these teams came in with the idea, get off to the start. Get off to a 1-0 start and get your season going. That could spark an excellent season for them. They've got that in their pocket now.
So for Tampa Bay, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.
like your energy. I don't like that. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. You an enemy. All them lies you telling, I can't let that be the end of me. No, no. Probably cause your girl feeling me. It's a flag on the play, all these catching penalties. Look, I don't like your energy. I don't like handshake, snake tendency. Let's go. Don't make me jog your memory. I did upgrade, you didn't upgrade it. The world, how they forgetting me. Please make it make some sense to me. How you talking about the greatest, still ain't greatest, still ain't mention me. Them bands, I want the symphony. 15 in it, wasn't instantly. Lately I've been catching plays, it's like it's meant to be. I got rich in the pandemic, meant to be. Don't do too much, I keep it simple. You clout chasing, trying to make the people feel you. Boys need to slow it down, I'm talking real screw. Penthouse at the top with the clear view. Oh, look, I don't like your energy, I don't like that. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. You an enemy. All them lies you telling, I can't let that be the end of me. No, probably cause your girl feeling me. It's a flag on the play, all these catching penalties. Look, I don't like your energy. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. Let's go. You not my kind, not no kin to me. Heard you told my girl about all of them that's DMing me. Why they hogging up the recipe? Heard they talking like I can't let Ken Wallace get ahead of me. Know your heart full of jealousy. All that acting tough, damn, this must be a parody. Okay, 1-on-1 ain't no comparing me. Okay, wait, 2-on-2, that's like 4, they be sharing me. Okay, they working like the rent do. Rent got them doing, that's what I'm into. Yeah, if I'm in it, then I own it, not a rental. No, I've been plotting on the lamb and the Benz cool. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't like your energy, I don't like that.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.